Board that is scheduled for April 2nd, 2012. My name is Tom Alexander. I'm chairman of the board. And on our agenda today, item number 2 actually is the swearing in of our new members, of which we've got 3 of the 4 here. And I want to welcome all of you. Appreciate your service. And they have all been sworn in previously. And that being the case, what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, starting with you, Catherine, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the folks in the audience, please?
My name is Catherine Martin. I'm in South Buncombe. Great husband, great kid, lots of dogs, lots of horses, and we need to take care of our land. That's me.
Good. Thank you, Catherine. Great to have you on the board.
Thank you.
Jim, do you mind going next?
No, not at all. My name's Jim Young. I live in Weaverville up Rains Creek. I've been here originally from Yancey County, been here about 20-some years now. Got a wife and 5 grown children.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Bud?
Well, I'm Bud Sales. My wife and I have a farm out beside AC Reynolds High School. We've been there since 1803. Raised a lot of plants, got 8 greenhouses. Been on the board once before. If you go to downtown Asheville in the summer, you'll see our hanging baskets on the lampposts through town. And if you go to Highlands, you'll see them there. It's just a pleasure to serve this county.
Bud, I appreciate it. And on a personal note, aside from Catherine, I've known both of these gentlemen a long time. In fact, Bud and I probably go back to the early 80s, 70s, that type of thing. Winston Pulliam has been appointed to our board as well, and I think a lot of you know Winston, certainly recognize his name. Winston was not appointed? Well, that was a nice faux pas to open up with. Okay, I apologize. I thought it was. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at our agenda today? And if so, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion from Michelle. Excuse me?
We're not swearing in new members.
Oh, okay, so we need to amend the agenda. Okay, I'm sorry.
Approving the agenda as amended.
Okay, let's start over again. It's been a while. It's been, what, January 6th, I think, since we met. Okay. We have agenda before us today. It's been amended because the new members have been sworn in. So aside from that modification and eliminating that item from the agenda, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I so move.
Okay, do I have a second from anybody?
Second.
We have a
Second.
second from Mr. Young. Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is approval of minutes from our January 9th board meeting. I trust everybody has received them in the mail. Are there any amendments there too? And I realize there's only 2 of us that were there. Did you find those correct, Michelle?
I move to approve.
Well, then I'll second, I guess. And is there any further discussion about the approval of the minutes from our January 9th, 2012 meeting? Okay, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is a public hearing zoning map amendment. It's known as amendment number ZPH 2012-004. And H.P. Patel has applied to rezone tax lot pin number 9678-15-4614, parentheses, also known as 1501 Tunnel Road, out near Azalea. Some of you may be familiar with that. And it's currently zoned residential district R2, and Mr. Patel has requested that the zoning be changed to commercial service district CS. Debbie, if you don't mind, introduce us to this subject and let us know what staff's recommendation is.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Patel has petitioned to rezone this approximately 1.78 acres from R2 to CS. It is a triangular-shaped lot. On the north is US 70 highway. To the south is the Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks. On the west of the parcel is City of Asheville limits, and also along the north of that parcel. So it is adjacent to the city. The area is a mix of residential and commercial development, with commercially developed lots on the west and north of this property. And also west and north is, within the city of Asheville, it is zoned highway business. The rezoning would be consistent with the Buncombe County Comprehensive Land Use Plan, as the 2006 update indicates that CS is primarily intended to provide suitable locations for clustered commercial development to encourage concentration of commercial activities in those specified areas with access to major traffic arterials. It would be reasonable and in the public interest, as the properties within a mix of commercial uses along US 70 and is in close proximity to the Interstate 40. This property was zoned CS back in the 2007 zoning. For the new members, we did have countywide zoning in 2007. The appeals court nullified that zoning due to some technicalities. What we did when we zoned countywide again, which was adopted in '09, we reviewed all of our zoning maps, and the council advised that anything that could possibly be viewed as a spot zoning should be changed to what the zoning was surrounding that property. So that being the case, this was CS, and even though it adjoined commercial zoning in Asheville, just out of an abundance of caution, we zoned this R2 to avoid any semblance to spot zoning. But during that previous zoning, this property had gotten a conditional use permit for a hotel, and they established a right to build a hotel by, they have pulled a valid building permit. So what the applicant wishes to do is to rezone it to CS, just to have a wider variety of uses for that property possible. And the Buncombe County Planning Department does recommend approval of the rezoning.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. Does anyone have any questions of staff before we move forward with the hearing from the petitioner and then to a public hearing? Okay. Then we'll move forward as typical. Our protocol requires that the petitioner come forward. Wes, I didn't know whether you were representing Mr. Patel or Mr. Patel. Both of you can come up if you'd like. And if you would, tell us, first of all, identify who you are and who you represent, and tell us a little bit about your petition, the reason for the petition.
My name is Wes Morgan. I'm a real estate broker with NAI Beverly Hanks, and I'm here on behalf of Mr. H.P. Patel. This is H.P.'s father beside me here. Mr. Patel bought the property in March of 2011. At that time, I think he was under the understanding it was zoned commercial, primarily because there was a permit in effect that allowed a three-story, 54,000 square foot motel on the property. The property is located at exit 55, which is off of Interstate 40. There is commercial property surrounding that interstate exit. That's the O-Teen exit, I believe, and it's primarily commercial. Mr. Patel has talked with staff, and it's his understanding, given current guidelines, that the property would be best suited for commercial use. Currently, all the infrastructure is in place. There's utilities, there's city sewer and water available, and in order to develop the property, there needs to be a reclassification of its use. So Mr. Patel would like to see it reclassified as commercial service.
Okay. Did you have anything, Mr. Patel?
Yeah. My name is Moti Patel. I represent my son, H.P. Patel. We are also the partners in so many deals, and we work together. And we bought this property last year, I think March. And at that time, it was a commercial zone. But somehow the zone was changed, yeah, and we want to do something with this property. So we like to have this zoning change back to commercial zone, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Patel.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions of the petitioner while we've got them up here? I don't. I mean, I'm very familiar with the property and the surrounding property as well. I certainly don't. Does anyone else? Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now what we'll do is we'll open up the public hearing portion of this process to hear anyone that would like to petition in favor of their request or against. Is there anyone that would like to come forward and comment on the petition from the Patels to rezone the property out at the O10 exit, also known as Azalea? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to that matter? Okay, Ms. Stiles. And again, for those that don't know, Ms. Stiles knows, you're given 3 minutes, and if you'll hold it to that, I'd appreciate it. And also, please identify yourself and where you're from.
My name is Dee Dee Stiles, and I live in Swannanoa. While I'm not against this particular rezoning, I can see that they already have a permit for a hotel, and that property is in between the highway and the railroad track, and not a very likely place that a person would build a residence. Just recently, I know another piece of property on the other side of 70 and a little bit east of there was also rezoned from R2 to CS. And while, I mean, the county plan is to have sort of commercial hubs instead of strip development, it looks to me like between Azalea and Swannanoa, we're gradually getting a whole strip of commercial development up and down both sides of that highway. So, I mean, if one gets commercial, then the next one and the next one, and I see that progress going on. And I just like for you all, not so much that I'm against this particular one, except for one personal reason, that it's completely filled with Queen Anne's lace, which makes a really good yellow dye. But and I've gathered there before, that is not a place it's likely that someone would build a house. But still, it seems like we're gradually overriding the plan of having hub development instead of strip development.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Stiles. Is there anyone else that would like to address the petition from Mr. Patel? Well, it appears that we don't have anybody else, so I'll go ahead and declare that the public hearing portion of this process is now closed. Does anyone on the board have any questions for anyone related to this, or do we have any discussion related to this application? Yes, Mike.
Mr. Chairman, I was just going to point out for the record that Bernie came in. He just arrived a little bit late, but I'm sure you're familiar with the application.
Yeah, I've looked.
Been able to review it. Okay. And just for we have a number of new members on today, and I don't know, I wasn't able to be here when you were having sort of your orientation and rules of the road kind of a thing, but on a rezoning request, I know you can see from your packet on the back side there, they have consistent and not consistent statements. So on a rezoning request, what really the board is doing is making a determination whether or not the request for the rezone is consistent with the land use plan and updates, and whether that request is also reasonable in the public interest. Reasonable in the public interest just isn't a common sense thing. You're looking at the land use plan, you're looking at the surrounding parcels, excuse me, as Debbie pointed out, and just seeing that if it's reasonable based on the surrounding parcels and the surrounding areas, and whether yes, whether or not that application does make sense and is reasonable. So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to help with that, but that's why it's broken down those two sections.
Thank you, Mike, and I appreciate you bringing that up for the new board members in particular. Well, if no one has any questions, do I have a motion?
I'll
to
make a
approve?
motion.
Okay.
I find the request of zoning to be reasonable and in the public interest and consistent with the Buncombe County Comprehensive Land Use Plan, and make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a second by Ms. Martin. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All of those that are in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously, and thank you very much. Congratulations. Good luck, too.
This will go to the Board of Commissioners for final decision. It is not scheduled yet, but notices will be mailed out.
Okay. Okay, thank you. The last item on our agenda is our public comment period. And once again, I'll open up the public comment period for those who would like to come up and speak about anything, subject-wise. Same rules, 3 minutes, state your name and where you live in the county. Would anyone like to come up and entertain us? Come on up, Miss Sniles.
Haven't been here in a long time.
No, no. Yeah, we might let you go twice.
Yeah, right. Principally, I mean, the people who have been on the planning board before know a lot of my positions about development in the county. But particularly for the people who are new on the planning board, I'd like to say that I come here often, and I try as best as I can to represent the future of the county. I'm a caregiver of young children primarily, and also a landscaper. And the whole idea of the planning board is to regulate the future planning and development of this county. And I would very much like for you to keep in mind that we're not talking about ourselves so much, because we're not going to be here very far into the future. At least I'm not. I'm a gray-headed already. But the children that I care for, and the children of those children and their grandchildren, in years to come, I would like for you very much to keep those children in mind, and those people who are going to live in our county and who are here because they enjoy, and as current research is beginning to show, they need opportunities to play in wild areas that are not structured in any kind of way. It's very good for their mental and emotional development. And so I would like for you to keep that in mind as you look at the county as a whole, and you begin to make a plan for how much of the county actually gets changed from its natural state to some form of development, which includes parks, playgrounds. Children need to be in places that are in their natural state. They need opportunities to play in places like that, and especially people with limited incomes can't carry their children far away to someplace. We need natural places scattered throughout the county so children have places like that to play, and not just the children today, but the children 100 years from now and 150 years from now. I would like this planning board in this county now to go down in history as very wise, making very wise decisions about the development of their land, instead of being the county board that 100 years from now people are saying derogatory things about because they let the county be ruined.
Okay, thank you, Dee Dee.
The beauty of the mountains is the biggest asset that we have here, and we need to protect that, and our clean water.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, I'll declare that the public comment portion of our agenda is now closed. The only thing left is to adjourn, so if I've got a motion, we'll get out of here.
I so move.
Second.
Thank you, Bernie. All right, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Rather excited. How about that?